Welcome to Study Loop.
Here we have functions f and g, so let's start by finding f plus g. So we're going to add these functions together. X cubed plus 2x squared plus 3x squared minus 1. We can add the like terms, and we get x cubed plus 5x squared minus 1 for f plus g. For f minus g, we'll subtract them, so we have x cubed plus 2x squared minus the quantity 3x squared minus 1. And so let's distribute the negative sign. So we have x cubed plus 2x squared minus 3x squared plus 1. And then let's combine the like terms. And we have x cubed minus x squared plus 1. And that's f minus g. Now let's look at the domains. So f and g are both polynomial functions, and polynomial functions always have a domain of all real numbers, which we can write as negative infinity to infinity. And when you add or subtract functions, the domain of the new function will be just the intersection of the two separate functions and the intersection of all real numbers, and all real numbers is all real numbers. All right, now let's take a look at the product and the quotient. So if we multiply f and g, x cubed plus 2x squared multiplied by 3x squared minus 1, we might want to multiply that out, so we'll use the FOIL process. We'll multiply the firsts and we get 3x to the 5th power, the outsides and we get minus x cubed, the insides and we get plus 6x to the 4th power, and the last and we get minus 2x squared. And if we want to rewrite that in descending powers of x, we get f times x equals 3x to the 5th power plus 6x to the 4th power minus x cubed minus 2x squared. Now let's find the quotient of f over g. So we have x cubed plus 2x squared over 3x squared minus 1. That's about all we can do with that one. Now let's talk about the domains. So again, the domain of f was all real numbers, and the domain of g was all real numbers. And when you multiply them, you still get the intersection of the domains, so you get all real numbers again. Now something changes when we divide, though. Because we can't divide by 0, we need 3x squared minus 1 to not be equal to 0. So what would make that equal 0? If 3x squared equaled 1, so if x squared equaled 1/3, so if x was plus or minus the square root of 1/3, then we would have a problem. We would have 0 on the bottom. So we're going to say for the domain is all real numbers except x equals plus or minus square root 1/3. So I'll just say x is not equal to plus or minus square root 1/3.